small business owners and independent contractors. Get affordable insurance with Sagicor Pro Shield. The time by Sagicor Life is
7 o'clock. CVM News at 7 headlines Thursday. Brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure. Live easy.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, death on campus. Police probe student's death at UWI Mona dorm. Fresh clash over access to Little Duns River. Staten census reveals slowing population growth and fewer births. Improvements recorded in PEP 4 literacy and numeracy. In the business report, CMU joins elite of global maritime education. And in sports, sports minister says more sports tourism plans on the horizon.
CVM News at 7 headlines Thursday. Brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure. Live easy.
Should critical illness strike? Don't let worry fill your head. Say hello to happiness and goodbye to worry with Guardian Life's new Ultimate Provider Plan. Secure your medical expenses in the event of critical illness ahead of time while benefiting from our investment portfolio and so much more. Give yourself and your family the peace of mind you deserve with Guardian Life's new Ultimate Provider Plan today. And live secure. Live easy.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. It's Thursday, October 16, 2025. I'm Nika Lewis. Thanks so much for joining us. Police are investigating the circumstances leading to the death of a female student at the University of the West Indies, Mona, Thursday morning. The student, whose body was found on the George Aline Hall, was said to be in her final year. Lawmen say the matter is being treated as a death investigation, meaning no conclusion has been drawn about the cause of death. Curlin Brown was at the scene.
Thursday morning seemed like business as usual on the Mona campus of the University of the West Indies. Guild President Rashawn Winter would normally be at class, but he and other members of the Guild were huddled across from the George Aline Hall, which houses close to 1,000 residents. The air tense. Something was amiss. An alarm was raised, the police were summoned, and the body of a female student was removed from a room.
When you lose somebody from your family, it can never be business as usual. However, as you know, we're in a critical period, mid-semester exams and so forth. So you have students who still, are taking that opportunity. We also have in store for the students who may have challenges doing those exams. The University Health Center is able to give them a medical waiver if they need extra time to get back on their feet. So it's definitely not business as usual. We are deeply struck as a community.
The administration's top tier was present.
Currently, the police are doing their investigations. The campus administration has come together and responded to support our students. Our Principal Denzel Williams, met with the students on hall along with our senior administration. He's also met with the parents of the person that we have lost. The parent came in. I'm not sure exactly where she came from, but she was here. Got here just about a half an hour ago.
CVM News spoke with close associates who accompanied the mother of the student who died, who said they were actually en route to Hanover when the dreaded call came. This is too much, uttered the obviously distraught colleague before leaving to be with a grieving mother at the campus clinic. She had lost her youngest, 20-year-old Victoria Hanley, a final year student of psychology from Mandeville, Manchester. The campus legal officer is Dr. Peter Glegg.
There's some information that we cannot provide at this time, as you would understand. Registrar made reference to the fact that the matter is currently being investigated by the police, and we have to allow the family some privacy before we can release certain granular details regarding this matter. But we'll be happy once we ourselves have more information. The university administration will be happy to meet with the media to provide further information.
Commanding officer for the St. Andrew Central Police Division, Superintendent Mark Harris, told CVM News the case is being treated as a death investigation.
Spunky, intelligent, sassy, trendy, ambitious, strong. It spells sisters. Now, it may represent the Mary Seacole Hall sisterhood, but the loss of this 20-year-old female also represents that. And so they stand together as we all try to find out what exactly took place here at the George Elaine dorm at the UWI campus. This is Caroline Brown reporting for CVM News.
A new special needs policy will be presented to Cabinet in the coming weeks. That announcement from Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon during Thursday's Education Transformation Oversight Committee media briefing. Amoy Harriet reports.
There are several schools for students with special needs and schools with special education programs across Jamaica. Now, cries have been ear-splitting in recent months for more resources to be pumped into some of these institutions and for students with disabilities to be given greater attention. Now those calls are being answered. The government has announced a new special needs policy.
And in that policy, it speaks about schools like yours and the importance of us resourcing those schools appropriately, having the kind of adaptive technology incorporated in your school. Already, for all of our exams, we are doing quite a bit on the exams team, getting a lot of commendation this morning, but there are accommodations that are made for all our students who may be blind or even have other areas of disability. We accommodate them in PEP, and so we'll do the exam papers in Braille, and in CSEC too, we'll do the papers in Braille. Many Jamaicans don't know that. And for children with other types of special needs, we give accommodations. Sometimes you have someone sitting with them and reading the questions for them. Sometimes you also have a writer for them, depending on what their issue is.
The minister says the policy will later be presented in Parliament as a green paper.
So look out for that in the coming weeks, because you are especially important. And I think another area we have to focus on, and we are focusing on in the ministry, is actually having more special needs units. And also, very importantly, in our policy, we're looking at pathways to work. Too often, or children with disabilities or special needs are not able to work.
Now, while the process of formalizing the policy is underway, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry Dr. Kassan Troop says implementation in some areas has already started.
As it relates to curriculum support services, Minister spoke to the accommodations for the assessment services, but we are building out the curriculum support in terms of the intellectual disability curriculum that's also available and now being implemented in our segregated settings for our students with moderate and severe disabilities. So that's already there.
Amoy Harriet reporting for CVM News.
In the meantime, the Education Ministry has confirmed notable gains in the 2025 Primary Exit Profile PEP Grade 4 national results, with the students recording marked improvements in literacy and numeracy. 70% of all students who sat the exams are at mastery in numeracy, while 67% mastered literacy. Of the over 33,000 students who sat the literacy exams, 475 were at the non-master level.
So when we talk about our education system and the problems, yes, there are problems, and I'm the most open about talking about the problems. But when we see improvements, we must acknowledge them, because it's a big deal. Because those that weren't at mastery, most of them were actually at almost mastery. So it's only 475 students that were at non-mastery in the entire grade 4 cohort across our country. That is fabulous.
And as for the promised changes to PEP,
going through the consultations again, we went back to our minister with a fulsome report, and she said to us, given the feedback and the majority of persons who felt at the time that no is not the time to make that big shift, our minister gave us the blessing, and we have sent out the bulletin to indicate to our principals and parents that we will not remove the grade 5 this year. We'll continue with that. We have condensed the grade 6. We have removed or delayed rather the ability test to a later time in the grade 6 period. We will continue with grade 4. So all the pieces are there. We just condensed, changed some dates.
The Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin, has released the official results of the 2022 Population and Housing Census, revealing that Jamaica's population now stands at just over 2.7 million people. While that marks a modest increase since the last census in 2011, the data also show that the country's population growth is slowing significantly. Akeem Art tells us more in this report.
Jamaica's population is growing, but at a much slower pace than before. The 2022 census puts the country's population at 2.7 million, representing a 2.8% increase over the 2011 figure. Leading Statin's presentation, Director of Censuses, Demographic and Social Statistics, Stacey Robinson, says the shifts are being driven by 3 factors: births, deaths, and migration. However, she notes the drop in births is linked to greater educational attainment among women.
Women having that access to education and is able to direct their reproductive engagements and so on, that would have caused the decline in births.
Compared to the 1982 census, when Jamaica's population was 2.19 million, births have declined by 30%. At the parish level, St. Catherine recorded the largest population gain, adding more than 26,000 people to reach roughly 543,000 residents. Clarendon followed with an increase of over 13,000, while Kingston and St. Andrew grew by about 10,000. Hanover, however, saw the smallest change, adding just 240 people over the 11-year period. Reporting for CVM News, I am Akeem Art.
Our news package continues in a moment.
Now you can find your favorite chicken and snacks in the same place. Come on in.
Introducing the delicious combination of KFC fried chicken and Doritos nacho cheese. The KFC Doritos Zinger, a crunch that's finger-licking good.
It's time.
Welcome to High School Pitchside. We have another fascinating episode for you.
More matches, more big clashes.
Let's talk about some of the big rivalries coming up this week.
More of your favorite features.
And trust me, you won't fall asleep in this history class.
And of course, we always want to hear from you.
Hear from your alma mater's players and coaches in Team Talk.
You know we can't leave you out. So send us your messages on social media and watch us react on FanView.
And you know we love a good little debate, right, Gio? We've got you covered all season long on High School Pitchside.
High School Pitchside, your ultimate guide to all things schoolboy football, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
Mammogram can shape your motherhood. The Jamaica Cancer Society, helping women now. Visit the website at jcs.live. Early detection saves lives.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Little Duns River is not closed. That clarification from Environment Minister Matthew Samuda, pushing back against claims by the Jamaica Beach Birthright Environmental Movement, JABEM, that the government is once again shutting off public access to the popular St. Ann Beach. It's the latest clash in a decades-old battle over operations at the property, also known as Belmont Cove. Amoy Harriet tells us more.
A video posted to the Instagram page of the Jamaica Beach Birthright Environmental Movement, JABEM, on Wednesday.
Them are the pole on the truck, the fencing and everything I go and see it.
The location shown here is Little Duns River in Ochorea, St. Anne. JABEM, in the caption posted with the video, accused the Urban Development Corporation, UDC, which is the entity that manages the property, of fencing and closing the beach, locking out the public on weekdays. When our news team visited Little Duns River Thursday, we observed several beachgoers being turned away at the gate by security guards hired by the UDC.
Me have my little business place here where we used to come out here 7 days a week because we go down to the St. Ann's Bay courthouse and we did get a paper sign that we did supposed to be here 7 days a week, but all of a sudden we just see them start run fence and the place lock up. And then so we can't go down our stall anymore because sell at this moment.
Authorities say they're increasing security on the property as extortionists have been charging beachgoers to enter the free beach.
People when they come down on the beach and say somebody up a gate to collect, we tell them to go to the security or the police. For that is excursion. The judge, the last time we got court, as we remember, the judge said UDC lawyer put up no contest to the public beach. Which way we go there for you working 7 days a week, we get the paper stamped by JP and bring it to the judge. So I did expect it to work 7 days a week. Now them come and close it back down now and said it's like 2 days a week.
Now, the controversy over public access to the Little Duns River is a long-standing one that dates as far back as 2013. Now, in 2023, JABEM took the UDC to court over full access to the beach. The property was closed by the UDC the year before due to safety concerns after a man was shot dead near the property. Police at the time theorized that the shooting emanated from a criminal network that was operating on the beach. The case between JABEM and UDC is still before the court. Dr. Devon Taylor is president of JABEM.
The negotiations are going well, in the sense that the government have mentioned to the court and to the attorney, Dr. Marcus Goff, that they are going to give the beach to the public. And what we saw unfolded Monday morning was truck rolling up, start digging holes, start planting posts, that they are now going to seal off the river and close the space. And so that is now an escalation of a matter that is before the court now. The UDC has taken it that they're going to fence the place and lock the individuals out. And we think that's a betrayal. You could have set up a sting operation and undercover by the police and not these individuals. Instead you are coming to shut the facility down again for the Jamaican people. No, we don't think this is the right approach.
Now, Environment Minister and Member of Parliament for Northeast St. Anne, Matthew Samuda, is rubbishing suggestions that the UDC is closing the facility again. He explained that the fencing work currently underway is meant to replace sections that were removed by extortionists who had been operating on the property. He's also dismissing claims that Little Duns River was opened on weekdays.
The beach was not open in the week. No step has been taken to close the beach on the weekends. The boundary wall of the facility is being resecured, and additional security has been deployed to manage weekends. There is no change in the existing arrangement as it relates to the Little Duns River. So how would someone be suffering from the same arrangement which prevailed last week still existing?
But what we're hearing is that the beach was actually open for 7 days a week prior to the election.
It was not legally so. The same persons who were charging or attempting to illegally charge had damaged the fence line and were directing persons to the side. It was not open.
Amoy Harriet for CVM News.
Stakeholders in Negril are dismissing concerns about sewage contamination in the famous 7 Mile beach. There have been concerns in recent days of a possible sewage leak, but the Chief Health Inspector for Westmoreland says a thorough investigation will be done. Carla Ramdeen reports.
Following concerns in recent days, Chief Health Inspector Steve Morris explains that he was unaware of any sewage contamination along Negril beaches, but he will be investigating the matter by sending persons to test the water.
But I will assign the officer to do some sampling of the Negril beach, and at a later time we can provide that results at the committee meeting.
Meanwhile, the chairman of Negril Tourism Destination and Negril hotelier Richard Wallace is coming to the town's defense. Mr. Wallace told CVM that all beaches in the area are routinely tested and remain safe for public use.
There are some challenges with the sewage plant that is in up in Negril, right? And those issues are being looked into. It's not an ideal situation, but it is not creating any major problems for the beach and beachgoers.
Mr. Wallace noted that this is not the first time he has heard such rumors. He said he has since spoken directly with Councillor Coley, who indicated the allegations was made at the Westmoreland municipal meeting by a businessman from the community.
And that businessman, I spoke to him as well, because these things are not the type of things that you want plastered all over the news. And so I'm very concerned about that. Yes, Negril has issues just like everywhere else in the world, but we need to come together as a community and sort these out, deal with them, work with the government, and get these things remedied and not broadcast them.
Mr. Wallace added, these allegations are affecting tourism in Negril. CVM also spoke with tourists and local workers using the beaches.
No, I don't see anything of that because I'm here every day and also night, and the water is very nice. I swim every day, and if it was bad, I would see it's bad.
Waters are so clear
and calm.
Yeah, super calm. It's been beautiful. Yeah.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
Still in Westmoreland, uncollected garbage is a growing public health concern in the parish. There remains uncollected garbage in several communities, schools and the Market District, a concern raised by councillors at the latest municipal corporation meeting. Earlier this week, Kingston Mayor Andrew Swaby chastised the National Solid Waste Management Authority about the same issue. Giovanni Dennis has this CVM News follow-up.
Uncollected garbage, utterly delightful for these goats, unsightly and disturbing for residents.
2 weeks when there's no garbage, and the goat them hear what the garbage them, bag them and the dog them and scatter them over a whole place. Sometimes the people them have to burn them. You cut them here and you fly them and rot and all kind of something, they take them up out. You see, look out there.
This is Juliet, who lives on Hudson Street in Westmoreland. The issue is similar across other communities in the parish.
Where's the rainy fall?
Alright.
After 2 weeks, we don't see no job.
Alright, thank you.
After them both, we don't see them do no better.
The issue was raised at the latest meeting of the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation. Ian Miles is the councillor for the Little London Division. He says the absence of skips in the Savannah Lamar Market District is concerning.
The state personnel who works on the truck, sometimes 2.5 to 3 hours, and they have to be there taking up garbage because of the absence of skips. I'm now wondering whose responsibility is it to procure and provide these minimum three skips, which is needed to ease the effectiveness of cleaning. And when the dispensary was in Savannah Market, White House can't get a truck for itself.
Concerns were raised about other areas, including schools, that are also behind in garbage collection. Public Cleansing Officer at the National Solid Waste Management Authority, Kevin Jones, responded to the issues raised.
Yes, I told her I was going to assist immediately with the school. We had a problem where the truck was slated to complete the task on a second trip. We had torrential rainfalls. However, I am giving you the reassurance today, sir, that assignment will be complete.
Mr. Jones conceded that a truck that services some of the areas is down. In the meantime, he also committed to addressing issues on main roads in the parish.
Main roads are thoroughfares that we try our independence, because that is where persons will see ways that we try our best to keep our main roads clean, and then we will, and town centers and main roads, especially if we are to have torrential rainfall, these main roads can have ways washing down the road.
Giovanni Dennis, CVM News.
Tonight in Query This, we tackle a legal question that affects many couples across Jamaica. What happens to the mortgage and the home when a married couple separates? It's a common but complicated issue, especially when both names are on the title and the loan. Our reporter Akeem Aret has been looking into the matter and joins us now with more.
When love fades and separation sets in, the house you once shared can suddenly become a battleground, especially when there's a mortgage still to be paid. So we took to the streets to find out your thoughts on what should happen when couples separate but the mortgage remains.
I think whosoever is living in the house should continue to pay the mortgage. If the other party refuses from paying up, I'm living in the house, so I'll continue to pay the mortgage.
Well, I would say both of us would have to come to a mutual agreement whether we're going to sell the house and each of us gets our portion, or I'm gonna buy out his part and he buys mine. So I think that's fair enough. So we have to come to a mutual understanding.
It comes to a case where both of us can't agree to pay the mortgage, then we just come to an agreement and sell the house and then share the difference. I think that was the best solution, basically.
Attorney at law Mr. Thomas explains that once both partners are legally married and have a joint mortgage, both are responsible for the debt even after separation.
Both parties are still obligated to pay their mortgage. Each party will have an arrangement, which is a mortgage contract with the National Housing Trust, and that would enable them to ensure to honor that contractual obligation.
But what if one partner refuses to pay their share?
If it is that one party decides that he or she is not going to continue to pay their mortgage, then the other party, so as not to cause the property to be in a state of arrears, that would enable NHT to probably put it on the open market and sell it to recoup their mortgage proceeds. What could happen is that the other party may pay the party who's not paying share and then make a claim, because that property might be other property or a matrimonial home. If it is that it is the matrimonial home, then they can claim more greater than a half share interest in that property.
There are also cases where one partner may try to sell the property without the other's consent. But is that even legal?
Property in Jamaica cannot be sold in isolation. All registered owners have to sign what is called an instrument of transfer. So if it is that one party sells the property without the consent of the other, it simply means that fraud was at play and on display. Fraud can be charged in the criminal arena as well as it can be held in the civil jurisdiction. In the criminal arena, then you're looking at a fine or imprisonment. So it is a serious matter.
In the meantime, Attorney Thomas has this advice for couples facing this dilemma.
It's always advisable that persons honor that mortgage arrangement with their institution, pay their mortgage no matter what the situation may be with the person that they're living with.
So while love may fade, the law remains clear. If both names are on the mortgage, both parties remain responsible until it's settled. That's all the time we have for Query This tonight. If you have a legal concern or need answers to a legal dilemma, send an email to aret@cvmtv.com. I am Akeem Aret. See you next time on Query This.
More to come when we return. Stay with us.
KFC Dorito Zinger, a combo that's finger-licking good. The time by KFC is
7:30. Hi, now you can find your favorite chicken and snacks in the same place. Come on in.
Introducing the delicious combination of KFC fried chicken and Doritos nacho cheese. The KFC Dorito Zinger, a crunch that's finger-licking good.
Hey everybody, I'm Yendi, and this is Odyssey with Yendi. In this space, we connect with some of your favorite people as they share their journeys. Here we have some unfiltered conversations as we deep dive into their inspirations, motivations, and experiences to inspire our own life journey.
Odyssey with Yendi, brought to you by Grace, Singer, and IslandNet Services.
BCIC is giving up to $5 million in free content insurance.
We've developed a free online calculator. So anybody in Jamaica, any homeowner can go on to BCIC online. You don't even have to be a BCIC customer, and it will give you a building value.
When you update your home's rebuilding cost with our online calculator, you'll get $5 million in free content insurance and up to 12 months to pay your premium.
If you're not insured, go get it now. Better to be safe than sorry.
Thanks so much for staying with us. It's now time for the Business Report with Joel Crossgill.
Lots to explore with you in the Business Report today. As the region's premier maritime training and research institution entered a new league of influence, following the official acceptance into the esteemed International Association of Maritime Universities, IAMU. The Caribbean Maritime University, CMU, has now opened the local maritime landscape to opportunities for partnerships and collaborations within a prestigious cohort of globally significant maritime institutions and educators. Professor Andrew Spencer, president of the Caribbean Maritime University, piloted us through the latitude and longitudes of the CMU's journey to this moment in time.
You have over 600 maritime tertiary institutions in the world, and a very elite group of them form this IAMU, as we call it for short. That means that only 15% of the tertiary institutions or higher education institutions who offer maritime education would form this very illustrious and elite grouping known as the IAMU. I recall joining the Caribbean Maritime University 3 years ago and learning about the International Association of Maritime Universities. While we've always been members of the IMO, the International Maritime Organization, that's largely for maritime administrations, yes? And so we wanted to find something that was specific to academic institutions. This is what I wanted for the Caribbean Maritime University, to be a part of research that was global, that was cutting edge, and that was not competing on a local level. And it lifts the level of the quality of what the CMU can offer, because as we all know, your research informs your teaching, your research informs your advocacy, your research informs your consultancy, your research informs the product you put out, known as the graduate.
On October 15, 2025, at the IAMU's annual General Assembly in India, the CMU president received the official certification of membership on behalf of the university.
We are happy that finally, this week in Chennai, India, we were accepted and officially handed our certificate and our plaque as members. And in fact, it's stated as full members of the IAMU, which means all the benefits will accrue.
Some of which materialized almost immediately, as Professor Spencer described the first partnerships under this new membership.
We signed a memorandum of understanding with the Amet University in India, which will now see us having student and staff exchanges. But one of the things that's most important is that Amet contributes to about 10% of the world's seafarers. Everyone knows that the CMU produces quality. They produce the quantity and the critical mass. That combination is going to be a potent way of staking our claim and establishing our place in the world. After we were inducted, we started having conversations with 2 higher education institutions in the Philippines. They are the largest suppliers of seafarers in the world. So I think over the last few weeks, we've seen amazing things happen. We've partnered with the universities out of Poland on logistics and transport, which is a slightly separate conversation. And here we are having the marine and nautical studies conversation for the production of seafarers. This is an amazing time for the CMU. We look forward to not just being members, but to being strong, impactful, contributing members.
Members which Professor Spencer expects will assist in furthering his stated ambition of producing world-class research in maritime engineering and related disciplines.
I went to the first annual General Assembly 2 years ago and discovered that this was the place to be. There were all these joint research projects. There was all this funding that was being sourced easily as a result of being a part of this. There were all these individuals who wanted to partner with student exchanges. So imagine that Shanghai Maritime University is a part of this IAMU. At the same time, you have other players such as Dalian University in China. You have players out of Croatia. You have players all over. What this means is that you're attracting funding together, but you're also putting out the best kind of research.
If you are interested in hearing more about it, the Business Report would recommend a look at the CMU Industry Conference 2025, staged just prior to the CMU's ascension to full IAMU membership.
Partnerships work when we show up, first and foremost. And when your partners show up for you from long distances, it sends a signal that we are some way down the wicket to achieving our goals. We need to think big. We need to dream big. But most of all, we need to act big.
And that was your Business Report. I'm Joel Crossgill.
Sports with Ronaldo Adams is next after the break.
Delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Mammogram can shape your motherhood. The Jamaica Cancer Society, helping women now. Visit the website at jcs.live.
Early detection saves lives.